Well, Raptors preseason's over. I don't know what the hell to do anymore. Just gonna get drunk for the next week. Raptors don't play until next Wednesday. It's currently Wednesday the 12th. No, the 13th. I think it's the 13th. And the Raptors don't play until the 20th. So yeah, it's the 13th. And it's Wednesday. Yes, I was right on all counts there. And I'm not sure what to do because it's going to be a boring week. No Blue Jays, no Raptors. There's a bit of hockey. Regular season started yesterday, so that's nice. But other than that, I mean, the fuck am I going to do? New season of You comes out to Friday, so that's fun. But yeah, let's just, excuse me. Jeez, I haven't shotgunned in a long time, guys. This is going to be bad. Excuse me. Good start. Man, every time I shotgun, my eyes start watering. It's the carbonation, huh? That being said, this is going to be a quick little video. I don't know how short it's going to be. I don't know how long it's going to be. But we're just going to be discussing the Raptors preseason games. Now, I made a video after the first one. That was a good game. And it went downhill after that. And then it started going back uphill. Raptors finished the preseason 3-2. They win the first game against the Sixers, lose the second game to the Sixers. And then they lose to the Celtics. Then they beat the Rockets and beat the Wizards to finish the preseason off. I need another beer. And overall, there's a lot of positives. There's a lot of awesome takeaways. There were a few negatives, but for the most part, I thought it was pretty good. I think there's a lot of things to like about this Raptors team. Starting with OG Anunoby. Okay, in Game 2, he put up 22 points on 8 of 14 shooting. I have to hold this, excuse me, right up to my face because I can't see fuck all. It's tiny. Look at how small this is. Come on. Ridiculous. And then in Game 3, he put up 17 points on 6 of 14 shooting. Game 4, he put up 17 points on 5 of 10 shooting and did not play in Game 5, nor did Fred VanVleet. But wow, OG Anunoby, fucking Ogugwa, he looks deadly this season. I think he's a serious candidate for MIP, maybe even MVP at this rate. He was balling. He's stepping it back, pulling up on dudes' faces, and he looks nuts. He looks unreal. Looks like a new man. And, I've really been running out of things to say about this guy because he's becoming the whole package, you know? It's awesome to see, because obviously we drafted him. And I actually remember draft night. Seeing his name, he was projected to go like 16th, but he dealt with an injury, so he kept dropping, and we drafted him at like 22 or 23, whatever it was. But I remember seeing his name, I was like, please nobody draft him. I want this guy. I'd never seen him play. I just saw the name, I was like, I want this dude. And luckily, he fell to us at 20-something, and now look where he is. He's going to be averaging I could see him averaging 23, 24 points a game. When Siakam comes back, that might go down. I don't know. It's hard to say. But Siakam's also only, I think it said 4 to 6 weeks away. That's kind of nice. So we'll have Siakam back relatively soon. And then him with new OG, him with, Fred VanVleet, Scotty Barnes, Precious Achiuwa. This team's going to be a blast. But now, let's talk about Game 2 of the preseason because that was an ugly game. That was by far the ugliest game the Raptors played in the preseason. They did not play good defense. The Sixers shot like 18 for 36 from 3. It was just bad. It was bad all around. They were not guarding the three-point line well at all. Seth Curry was lighting it up, looking like Steph Curry out there. Dude, I hate Steph Curry. No, I like Steph Curry, but I hate him. He's weird looking. He's worse than Steph at literally everything. And I don't know. He looks like an elf. And then fucking Ernie and Bert looking ass Danny Green was lighting it up against us. I still love Danny Green. I know he got a lot of hate for his playoff run with the Lakers back in the day. But what are you going to do? It happens. Joel Embiid, from what I recall, did not have a great game. It wasn't terrible, obviously. I mean, he's Joel Embiid, MVP candidate last year. But he didn't play great by any means. It was the other guys that were destroying us. Shake Milton was getting some buckets. Danny Green was lighting it up, as I said. And then Seth Curry was really dominating all that game. He was knocking down threes. Excuse me, all over the place. And it was really tough to watch because this Raptors team, they're all like 6'9" on average, and they're long as fuck. They got like a 8-foot wingspan, and they're quick, and they're young, and they need to get out to the 3-point line because everybody's shooting threes in the NBA. If you can't defend the 3-point line, you're going to fucking lose games. That's just putting it plain and simple. I just came off watching a Steve Will Do It video, and I love Steve Will Do It, even though I could probably kick his ass in a fight, let's be honest here. I love Steve Will Do It, and his videos just make me feel so self-conscious because him and Brad Martin, they're just massive dudes. And I always think I'm starting to get big. And then I look at these guys and I'm like, fuck, man. I'm an absolute little toothpick. You know, it takes time, right? I got a fast metabolism. It's like the road runner in there. Anyways, what were we talking about Raptors-wise? Danny Green was killing us. Seth Curry was killing us. That's the Philly game. That's the long story short. You know, we couldn't pull out the W against them. On to the next one. So the next game, the Raptors played the Celtics. Now, this was a fun game. OG Anunoby was going at it with Jason Tatum. They were really going at each other. Like, they were pushing each other around, going crazy. OG was hitting wild shots. Jason Tatum was hitting some nice shots. They were defending each other. It was really fun to watch. I think those guys are going to be fun to watch in the regular season. I don't know how many times the Raptors and Celtics play each other, but I'm looking forward to that matchup. OG Anunoby, what did I say he put up? He put up 17 points, 6 of 14 shooting. So his lowest scoring game, but still good performance. He shot 3 of 8 from 3. You know, OG's just looking nasty in the preseason. He was he was like right up there with Jason Tatum. And Jason Tatum's an elite player in the league now. So you really love to see it. Ogugwa, that's my man. That's going to be our man this season. I'd honestly venture to say Ogugwa is our number 1 player. Obviously, we haven't seen Siakam yet this season, but as of right now, OG looks like our dude. He could be an all-star this season. I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't. He's got the defense, obviously. He's got a bit of a handle now. He still looks like sort of awkward when he's dribbling. I don't know if it's just me that notices it, but he just, you know, he looks like dribbling is still new to him. I think once he starts like getting a little more body movement into his dribble moves and stuff, it'll be really good, and he's going to be nasty. But that being said, for right now, I'm loving watching OG. You know, I was talking to a guy on Instagram, Rockets4, and he was saying OG's looking like prime MJ out there, and I hard to argue with that. He really is. He looks deadly out there. Looks lethal. Fred VanVleet also had a good game in this one. He put up 22 points. So he was balling. Love to see it. I think Fred's going to have some big games this year. But honestly, in the preseason, he didn't look as sharp as I would have hoped. That being said, it's the preseason. You can't take it too seriously. Svi Mykhailiuk also put up 12 points. And Svi Mykhailiuk has the best nickname I've ever fucking heard. Splash Bandicoot? Are you kidding me? I'm a big nickname guy. Big nickname guy. Excuse me. As you'll learn later on in the video, because I've just been calling dudes random nicknames. I'm going to stick with Ogugwa for OG. You know, Scotty. I like Scothew, but that's kind of weird, so might come up with something different for him. But I just love coming up with nicknames. And Splash Bandicoot is maybe the best nickname I've heard. Why do I always have this happen? I feel like hiccupy, and I hate it. Splash Bandicoot might be the best nickname I've ever heard in the NBA. It's right up there with Charles Barkley's nicknames. He's got some wild nicknames, like fucking, I can't remember any of them, but they're wild. I'll throw a picture up. Yeah, so Svi Mykhailiuk, he put up 12 points, and Gary Trent Jr. put up 14 points. Gary Trent Jr. was an interesting player in this preseason. You know, he put up a lot of shots. He did that. And he did make quite a few shots, but he also missed a lot. And he missed a lot of them pretty badly. So I'm hoping once the regular season rolls around, he'll have his touch back and he'll be making shots. But he missed a lot of shots. And sometimes it's a possession where he shoots 8 seconds into the shot clock, 6 seconds into the shot clock, and nobody else has touched the ball, just him. And he's just stepping it back and shooting shots, and he's throwing them off the back of the backboard, and it's just not looking good. I'd like to see him move the ball around a little bit more, but that being said, you know, he looks like a scorer out there. And I'm excited to watch him play this season. I think he can be a baller, but just watching him, it's like, shit, we traded Norm for this guy. I love Norm. Every Raptors fan loved Norm, and probably still loves Norm. and he was our best scorer last season. I mean, he was every time Norman Powell shot the ball, you expected it to go in. It's not the same with Gary Trent, but once again, that being said, he's younger. He's going to take some more time to develop, and this will be an important season for him with the Raptors. Moving on to Game 4. The Raptors destroy the Houston Rockets. They get out to a 9-0 lead, and they did not look back ever since then. And they were lighting it up from the three-point line, and they were crushing them on the defensive side. It looked like Raptors basketball out there, you know what I mean? The battle of top 4 picks between Jalen Green, Scottie Barnes went the Raptors' way. Scottie Barnes took him to school. Jalen Green, he did not make a shot for the longest time. He did not finish with many points. I think he only had 5 points. Not a good performance, but that being said, you could just see the confidence in this kid. He looks like he's going to have a bright future. Scottie Barnes did as well. He put up 10 points, I want to say. Yes, 10 points, 5 of 10 shooting. He had 2 assists. I think he had 3 blocks or 3 steals or something like that. And then 1 steal, 1 block, vice versa. I don't remember. And then he also had 4 rebounds. As I said, 2 assists. So he did it all. And then Precious Achiuwa put up 17 points. OG Anunoby put up 17 points. Malachi Flynn, Sir Malachi, put up 15 points. And Svi Mykhailiuk also with another double-digit game. Splash Bandicoot, making it rain out there. 2 for 5 from 3. Not ideal. But every time he shoots a 3, I'm expecting it to go in. If it doesn't go in, I'm like, okay, I'm turning the TV off. Something's wrong here. Svi Mykhailiuk's deadly. We finally got to see Kevin Burch again. It's nice having him. Freddie Gillespie recently just got kicked off the team. He didn't make the cut. Thank fucking God. That guy looks like a football player out there. He really does. He does not look like an NBA player. I love Freddie G, but he just was not ready to be on this Raptors team. Delano Brampton, I think this was the game where he knocked in the long distance 3 at the buzzer. Banked it in, nasty. And then the next game, it wasn't the same game, was it? No, I think it was the next game. Shit, no, it was this game. And maybe it was the game before. I don't know. Either way, Malachi Flynn also hit a wild half-court buzzer-beating 3. It was nasty. Champagne Poppy. Drake was on the mic. He was talking to Jack and Matt when he hit it. He called it Cash Money. That broadcast was so much fun to listen to with Drake on the mic. That was funny as fuck. He was talking about Federico and everything, and I just love Drake. I'm a huge Drake fan, guys. Sorry, I'm fucking fangirling here. And then in the final game, the 5th game, Raptors beat the Wizards by 5 points. Oh, I also forgot to mention, in that Celtics game, in Game 3, Raptors had a chance to win it. They put up a shot right at the buzzer, and then there was like 5 or 6 seconds left when the shot went up, came down, put back, tip, no good. It came right down in Delano Band's hands. He threw it up, got it to go, but it was like half a second too late. So, unfortunately, they didn't get to make that bucket and go to overtime. Fine by me. It's preseason. Who cares? If this were the playoffs, I would have been PO'd, but it ain't. Moving on. Game 5, Raptors beat the Wizards 113-108. They finished the season the preseason 3-2. Precious Achiuwa was dominating in the first half. Really, the first few minutes, like first couple minutes, he was going coast to coast. He was blocking shots. He was doing it all, really. And then he really started to slow down. He finished with 9 points. Scottie Barnes finished with 9 points. Goran Dragic finished with 16. He was lighting it up from 3. He was 4 of 5 from downtown. Gary Trent Jr., 12 points, 4 of 14 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3. Not ideal. And then our 5th starter, because we didn't have Fred or OG, Isaac Bonga. And I guess on the broadcast they always call him Isak Bonga. I'm not fucking calling him Isak. No chance. His name is Isaac. I don't give a shit. Isaac Bonga, 3 points, 1 for 2 from the field. He was hustling out there. He looked all right. I don't really have a whole lot to say about him, honestly. And then Ish Wainwright, he was doing his thing out there. He's making the decision to cut him a lot tougher, but he's not making the roster. I think they have one person left to cut after cutting Reggie Perry and Freddie Gillespie, and it's going to be Ish Wainwright, if I had to take a guess. I don't think they'll cut Champagny. I don't think they'll cut Sam Decker after that last game. Holy shit. I think they're going to keep Delano Brampton. They're obviously keeping Svi Mykhailiuk, and I think they'll keep Isaac Bonga. But yeah, Ish Wainwright, 2 2 for 4 from the field, 2 for 3 from downtown, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Sam Decker, holy shit. He was crushing it in the fourth quarter. He basically single-handedly brought the Raptors back into this game. It was nuts. It was wild to watch. He finished with 18 points, 4 for 5 from downtown. He started off 4 for 4, missed his last 3. 7 of 10 from the field. He was crushing it. 1 rebound, 1 assist. But he had an and one from downtown. It was wild. But he was not the only one. In the fourth quarter, him and Sir Malachi, they were the only ones to put up points for the first 22 points in the fourth quarter. And then I think it was Ish Wainwright who knocked down a 3. It was wild to watch. Sir Malachi Flynn, 22 points. 3 of 9 from downtown. Not great, not terrible. And then 6 of 15 from the field. 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Not too bad. Not too shabby. You know, him and Sammy Dix, they looked pretty solid. They looked like fucking LeBron and D-Wade out there. It was fun to watch. It was all around a pretty solid game. Well-rounded scoring effort. And it was just a fun preseason to watch. I'm excited to watch this game for 82. I just said this team for 82. Excuse me. They should be a fun, young, athletic team. And once they're fully healthy, they could be dangerous. They really could. You get Boucher back, you get Siakam. I wouldn't want to play a team of, let's see. So I would assume our starters are going to be Fred. Oh, God. This is actually tougher than I thought. I think you got to start Precious. So Fred, Precious, Siakam, OG. And then probably Scotty Barnes. Would you throw Scotty in there? I think Scotty as an alternate ball handler, he can bring the ball up the court, would be nice. And then you got Dragic off the bench. You got Flynn off the bench. You got Boucher off the bench. You know, you got Svima Hailuk off the bench. It's just, I'm probably missing guys. You know, Yuta Watanabe, he had a great game in that first game. And then, unfortunately, I think it was after game 2 that he got injured and didn't play the rest of the preseason. That's fine. But he looked good. He looked good out there. And, you know, you got a ton of depth this year. That's the Raptors' strength. They have so much depth. And honestly, I'm going to make a video on this later on. Right now, we're just discussing preseason. But I wouldn't mind the Raptors trading away some of this depth for a bigger star. Maybe a Dame Lillard. Not a Ben Simmons, but maybe a Dame Lillard. Maybe a Kyrie Irving. No, they're not trading Kyrie. And he's not getting vaxxed up. He's not getting the shot. He's not doing it. Kyrie is putting his foot down. He's saying, no. To each their own, right? But, yeah, preseason all around. If I had to give the Raptors a grade, a letter grade, I'd probably give them like a B+. A B+. Not quite an A-, not quite an A, because there's definitely some things they can improve on. But for my expectations, I would give them a B+, because they're a young team. They don't have a lot of chemistry. A lot of them haven't played together. The only guys from last few seasons that are still here, you know, you obviously got your OGs. Ironically, I didn't even mean like OG Anunoby, but you got your OGs. You got Ogugwa. You got Siakam. You got Fred. And that's pretty much it. And then, you know, you got some guys that are returning like Chris Boucher. You know, we got Kem Burch last year. Other than that, who the fuck do you have? Yuta Watanabe? I can't think of anyone else that's returning. You got new guys. You got Goran Dragic. You got Delano Brampton. You got Scotty Barnes. You got Justin Champagnie. You got David Johnson. You got all these guys. Ish Wainwright. Isaac Bonga. Svima Hailuk. You got all these new dudes. And it's been fun to watch them. Obviously, the chemistry is going to only get better. And I think halfway through the season, they'll be meshing a lot better, and it's going to be fun to watch this team. I'm really looking forward to this Raptors season, guys. It's going to have to hold me over until Jays season. The Jays are winning the championship next year. I'm calling it right here. I'm going to crush the rest of this beer. And after I do, I'm ending this fucking video. You got it? But my 3 stars for the preseason, all games put together, our first, no, we got to start the 3rd star. So 3rd star, overall, I got to give it to my man, Scotty Barnes. He played great. He did his thing. He impressed quite a bit. You know, he wasn't scoring a shit ton of points every game. He was not. You know, he had games where he put up quite a few points. You know, I think he had a double-digit game or two. Nothing crazy, but, you know, he showed off his mid-range jumper a little bit. You know, he finished pretty well. He could hit a couple floaters, a few little hook shots. You know, he did his thing. Not a phenomenal scorer, but he can throw down the ball. You know, him and Freddie have clearly got that connection going, and it's great to see. So I'm excited for Scotty. He can pass incredibly well. At his size, that's going to be lethal. He's like Ben Simmons, except better. You know, he's more confident. He's more fun. He's just, you know, he's better looking. I'm really excited for Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes. It's going to be a fun time. And then our second star. Now, this one was tough. It was tough debating between second and third. But I think I got to give the second star to my man, Precious Achiuwa. Because I had no idea what to expect of this kid. I really did not see like any footage on the guy from last season. So I had no idea what to expect. I just knew watching the draft that I was hoping the Raptors would get him. They didn't. And they actually traded for him. So that's great. And watching him play, he looks like a point guard out there. He's 6'9", 6'10". He's a big man, and he dribbles the ball incredibly well. He dribbles the ball better than me, and I'm fucking 4' nothing. You know what I mean? He's looking lethal out there, and he can shoot the three. He doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but he can shoot the three occasionally. He's got a decent midi. He's got decent handles. You know, he's good at blocking shots. He's quick. I can't say enough good things about the guy. But that brings us to our first star of the preseason. And if you can't guess, fuck you. We got to do our honorable mentions first, though. There's two guys I really want to shout out. Unfortunately, I'm not including Goran Dragic in this because, you know, he didn't look great to me. You know, he kind of looked old. He is old, but he looked old. And that's not really what I wanted to see. So he's not getting an honorable mention. He didn't look bad by any means. He looked like he's going to be an integral point. And what am I trying to say? Integral? Is that word pronounced integral or integral? It don't matter. He's going to be a vital part of this team. And, you know, I'm glad to have him here for however long he's going to be here. But the honorable mentions go to Freddie because, you know, he didn't have the greatest of games all the time, but he put up points and he looked like a leader out there. And he made some nice passes. And it should be a fun season. He was a borderline all-star last season. He didn't really look like the defensive beast that we saw last season. He didn't get a ton of deflections, but he also did get a few. And he should have another good defensive year. He should have another good offensive year. And I'm looking forward to it. And the second honorable mention has to go to my man, Svi Mykhailiuk, Splash Bandicoot, because he really impressed me. I thought he was just a shooter. He's like Matt Thomas if you increase his attributes by 15. Each one of them. Every single one. He looks like he's smart. No, maybe not IQ. He doesn't look smarter than Matt Thomas because, you know, he often drives into the paint and then jumps, leaves his feet, and throws a pass. Sometimes it's a bad pass. Sometimes it's a beautiful pass. But he makes some dumb plays sometimes, which I'd like to see him cut down on. Just take it slower. Do your thing. But other than that, he looks like a good playmaker. He looks like he's got a decent handle. And obviously, he's an absolute sniper from outside. So I'm looking forward to seeing Splash Bandicoot light it up this season. We got lucky this time, guys. I ran out of storage on my phone again. But luckily, it was like when I had a minute and a half left of recording. So it's all good. As I was saying, thankful for Splash Bandicoot being on this team. And that being said, Ogugwa. First star of the preseason. Guy looks like a brand new man. Shout out Luke Combs. Shout out Orphans. I don't know why I just said that. Ogugwa, OG Anunoby. He's going to be nasty this season. Putting the league on notice. All-star year. He's going to be MVP for probably the rest of his career. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Feel free to hit the like button if you don't want to. I won't hold it against you. I'm just appreciative of everyone being here. And thank you guys a ton for watching. And yeah, that's all I got to say, guys. Take care.